with me?
Well, because I was not at a good place at the time.
What we mean when we say that?
Adult beverages and my feelings mixed in one bowl.
Okay. I just want you to be real with me.
Okay. That was one of the reasons.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Black Book. You already know what time it is. Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you lean? If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe. For those who are returnees, you ain't got the minerals, baby. You ain't got the minerals. Listen, woo, Chile. If you can't handle the heat in the kitchen, get out. If you can't handle the heat in the kitchen, get out. Alright? Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you lean? Agege. Let's get into the video. We're talking to you guys about Darin and ASHIMA. I think it was quite interesting because based on what we spoke about previously, in a sense of the felt like Darin wasn't really taking, I guess, some ownership over some of his own behavior. We are kind of forced back into the same kind of narrative in this particular episode. And one thing that kind of really stuck out to me was at the dinner table.
With me.
Well, because I was not at a good place at the time.
What we mean when we say that?
Adult beverages and my feelings mixed in one bowl.
Okay. I just want you to be real with me.
Okay. That was one of the reasons why I had got a little bit more heated.
Fortunately, you guys are reviving.
Where everybody else was. And the first thing that ASHIMA does when Tommy obviously asked her is she explains that, oh, she wasn't in a good place. And therefore, that was the reason why she was so angst, and her behavior was, I guess, maybe not exemplary the way that she wanted it to be, right? Now, I've got no problem with anybody coming out and actually being honest about their behavior and saying, look, do you know what, my behavior wasn't up to scratch. No problem at all. Where I have an issue is because Darin and ASHIMA, based on what they spoke about, Darin has yet to admit to his part that he's played in this whole situation. In fact, he goes one step further to say, I'm just happy and glad that ASHIMA has taken full accountability and responsibility for the actions of what happened at the cabin. For me, that's concerning, because if you can't see the part that you played in this could potentially be a trend of non-understanding of your own behavior and how that contributes towards what we saw at the cabin. In no shape, way or form can Darin exclude himself from what's actually happened. Darin was part and parcel of what happened. In fact, Darin is the instigator of what happened, because had he been honest, yeah, not transparent, but had he been honest and forthright and came and forthright onto ASHIMA, letting her know that, listen, do you know what, I am talking to Tondi, this wouldn't have been an issue. But the fact of the matter is, man didn't do that. He didn't do that. So what happened? ASHIMA became jealous, naturally, because this has come out of the blue. All of a sudden, you're talking about another girl. Not only that, you were doing madness in the cabin, trying to play off ASHIMA's insecurity, if you want to call it that, which was based on what you were doing, and then in front of Tondi, you act up and say, oh, you know, ASHIMA's my number one, and you joke about it. Are you stupid, blood? Listen, park your damn brakes, bro. Listen, we can't have that, bro. We gotta call that out straight away. I'm sorry. When you did that, how was it that you at the dinner table, when Tommy's asking, you don't take any accountability?
I just want you to be real with me.
Okay. That was one of the reasons why I had got a little bit more heated.
Fortunately, you guys are reviving.
Right.
What you all have.
I mean, she took full accountability, man, and that's all I was looking for.
That makes no sense. And actually, you say to her, you're actually happy that she took on full responsibility. How? You were part and parcel of this. And the fact of the matter is, not just only Darin I'm concerned about, it's ASHIMA's way of actually thinking about this. How have you already decided that this was all your fault when it wasn't? And I'm not saying that he gaslighted her. I'm saying that ASHIMA has a certain way of thinking about herself, and has unfortunately kind of boxed herself into, she's actually done something to cause an issue. She hasn't. Okay, you were right in actually going up to him. You were right in questioning him, and you were right on putting him on the spot. Man deserves to get put on the spot because man is not telling the truth. You understand? So that was what my main concern was straight away.
So with Tommy calling ASHIMA out yesterday at dinner, it's kind of, bringing certain things to the forefront. Today we got a gym date set up between ASHIMA and I. I'm going to use this as a platform by which we can move forward and work on the issues that I've seen at this point.
Because that's what I was saying about ASHIMA and not understanding why she took on full responsibility. But I guess sometimes when you're a polite, kind person, and you maybe it's been a little while since you had a relationship and you want the relationship to work, sometimes you overcompensate, because later on when they're talking in the gym, obviously Darin says, you know what, I've been 100% honest, can we move on from this, from the Tondi thing,
And kind of working through our stuff on this whole journey thing. I think I've been 100% honest. I've told you where you stand and where we are with that. So I think we, can we just put that behind us? You ain't got to ask me about Tondi no more.
As he's talking, ASHIMA's face is like, and her lip kind of moves, and her facial expressions kind of change, and that little head tilt, and she wasn't believing what he was saying, or she wasn't agreeing to what he was saying. And in fact, she had a different point of view, because actually she goes on to say, hear what you're saying, but, because he says obviously about her insecurity, which first of all, again, was triggered by you, Darin. You cannot place this as you got trust issues. No, I've got trust issues because you have made me have the trust issues. This ain't out of the blue. This ain't baggage. This isn't a past relationship. This is present. This is you.
Is just 100% trusting.
The definition of what you just described, baby, is called trust issues. I've been trying to tell you that.
It's not an issue, baby. I don't like to use that word.
Well, trust concerns, whatever you want to call it. But honey, you're telling me right here, right now, that...
And men and males do this often more than women, but males can do this where they manipulate situations because they want to like a child that doesn't want to get in trouble will end up manipulating to try and get itself out of that. When you don't teach that child how to stop trying to manipulate, it continues that into childhood. Now, we know from Darin, him saying he saw his dad lie, Darin, bruh. You cause a trust issue. Be man enough, admit that you have caused issue here. All you had to say was, listen, you know what, my bad too. I've actually caused you to feel a certain way. Because you asked this question about, have I done anything to not trust, to not be called, to not able to have your trust?
What have I done since you've met me to work against that trust?
When I was sitting at that wine bar across from Tondi, you did not tell me that you were still texting her and calling her and telling her you wanted to see her. You didn't tell me that, Darin. Trust is earned, sweetheart. And right now, your trust is looking a little sketchy.
And ASHIMA answered that question in the cabin. So you know you've done something dirty and you've done something wrong. Why can't you admit it? And the point is, sometimes we don't have introspective eyes. We're unable to be able to analyze our emotional processes. We're unable to analyze our inner self. And until somebody sees us and actually tells us, so I'm telling you, Darin, what you're doing is not right. I'm not going to say it's the worst. I'm just saying it's not right. I want to see improvement from you. Because what you've done, in a sense of, I don't think you're a gaslighter, but you potentially have gaslighted this woman by making her feel like she was in the wrong when you know for sure she was not in the wrong. Yeah? And she's now particularly taking the blame for something that you done and react upon that. And now she looks like she's got trust issues. But she knew she was not wrong, because then she went and said, but... And that but was very important because it let us know that she doesn't agree with you.
I'll take you at that word. So I need to hear this right now.
This ain't gonna happen outside of this, but whenever you mess up, you will see Miss Franklin. And everybody don't get Miss Franklin. If you wouldn't get Miss Franklin if ASHIMA didn't care about you.
When she said the but, that came up as a resonance of the first question, which was that, you ain't got to ask about Tondi. Yeah, but why? You see, you ain't got to ask about Tondi. What do you mean I ain't got to ask about Tondi? Did I tell you to go and do a thing with Tondi? Did you tell me you were doing a thing with Tondi until you got caught? Bruv, do you understand? Until you got caught, you didn't tell me you were doing trying to do a thing with Tondi. Did you tell me that? No, you didn't. So how are you telling me I can't ask about Tondi again? You're not going to tell me.
Can we just put that behind us? You ain't got to ask me about Tondi no more?
I just feel like, you feel like I should come in this just 100%.
I'm going to ask. I have to make sure that you're not moving mad. You understand? So that's what makes me a little bit annoyed, because it's like those type of behaviors are quite grinding. I'm not trying to break down Darin. I want him to understand that if he reviews this behavior, he doesn't come out clean. I'm sorry, your hands are not clean. It's interesting that obviously as well that, during the process of him talking, you just see her folding her arms and, tilting her head and certain behaviors that are kind of showing that though she's listening, she's also trying to defend herself and tell herself that, listen, you have a point here, you have a point here, you have a point to make, which contradicts what he's saying. And that was what I've seen from her body language. But then we go on to say that, obviously she goes on to say, you know, then you will see Mrs. Franklin. And that Mrs. Franklin, again, you know what's interesting about that is that when people try to do alter egos, which is what I call it, oh, you don't want to see the Mrs. Franklin. It's almost like you don't want to see my dark side. Yeah, you don't want to see my other side of me. It's not the other side, it's you. Do you understand? It's you. And I feel like when she did that, what it was saying is like, it's almost like that playfulness of saying there is a darker side to me, there's a more serious side to me, don't play with me. But you say it that way to make it a bit more joking, a bit more light, and a bit more, I'm not crazy. Because actually, it probably sounds more crazy by saying Mrs. Franklin. It doesn't. By saying there's a Mrs. Franklin, there's a Miss Franklin, saying there's a line that when you cross it, I become a different person. Do you understand? Rather than saying, listen, when you do this, I get pissed off and I'm going to come at you a certain way. It's almost like that cushion of the blow. And I said this to her last time when she was talking to him in the cabin. She did something similar where her voice went high as she was explaining what she was saying, because she didn't want to sound like she was being rude or anything like that. But she wanted to explain it. But she instead of just saying it fat, and just nailing him, because really and truly, she could have nailed him. And she had every right to nail him if she wanted to, because at the end of the day, my man has done wrong. Do you get what I'm saying? Regardless of whether he thinks he did it or not, he is done wrong.
If ASHIMA didn't care about you.
Okay, but I ain't got time for none of that, is what I'm trying to tell you. So what I'm saying is, you need to stop that, right? And if you want to continue with me, we're going to talk. If you have a concern, come to me calmly, okay? Is that, can we do that?
We can do that.
And you promise you're going to do that? You're going to come?
I feel the reason why she didn't nail him potentially is probably her confidence is not there. She doesn't probably trust her compass to be able to do that. Maybe she doesn't want to lose the guy as well. You know, it's been a little while since maybe a nice guy has given her a bit of time of day, etc. There's a lot of different combinations as to why she didn't nail him there. But what was interesting was his response, which he said, obviously, well, if you want to be with me, you know, and it's like, bro, why don't you openly admit what you done and we can begin to talk properly? But again, no accountability whatsoever according to his actions. Look, somebody who is not able to review their own actions, who's not able to see the error of their ways, is a dangerous person. Pride cometh before a fall. I'm telling you, my dog, that's for free. Trust me. And then he ended it with saying, obviously, you know, are we going to come at me, you know, I want you to come at me more calmly next time. Bro, calmly. I don't know what you want me to do. Park your brakes, bro. What do you mean come at you more calmly, brother? You were texting another gal, not telling me you were texting another gal. Imagine a girl that I'm feeling is now texting another guy on a more than friend basis. And then you want to tell me I'm acting mad for telling you that you're acting mad. That don't make sense. Deep what you're saying. That don't make sense. You understand? You're checking me for checking you because you are out of line. That's a very dangerous person, my friends. A very dangerous person. Do you get it? So yeah, guys, that's my Darin and ASHIMA review. It's a shame, obviously, you know, his father obviously was ill and stuff like that. Nobody wishes that anything like that upon anybody. We just wanted to report the truth and what was happening with Darin and ASHIMA. Guys, what's your thoughts as well? Let us know. Comment in the comment section below. Let us know your thoughts, and we'll have a conversation and discussion as always. Anyway, guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. For those who are new and for those who are returnees, just share the thing and like it. You already know what I mean, baby. Are you mad at your Madeline?